Hi folks, in this video I'd like to show you some of my handmade tooling for shoemaking. As you see, there's a selection of tools here. Copies of the old Victorian ones are no longer available. I've managed to find some of the antique ones and copy them, starting with these what you call shoe planes. Started from 40mm wide by 5mm tool steel bar. It's shaped, ground and then tempered and hardened afterwards, and as I'm a wood turner, I actually make these handles as well myself, out of all different materials. I think that one there is laburnum. Again, tools unavailable today. That one's an insole through stitcher with replaceable needles, what you call a hook awl. The next one is a special picking knife, a special shape for getting into particular small angles. That one's a laminated blade. The tool steel for this one is an old saw. Everybody throws these old hard point saws away, and it's not bad steel. You can actually cut it up and make tools with it. And here's another nice example of a flamed boxwood handle, hand turned, and sterling silver ferrule on there, and again hand shapes and tempered, ground and sharpened. Insole plane again, that one's right-handed, that one's actually left-handed. You can see the two different points on there. Another one, what you call a centre edging or skiving tool, with a nice rosewood handle. And again another insole plane, this time made out of burr hazel from our farm in the Lake District. That one's a particular collectible for me, coming from our home farm. Then we move on to basket making tools, what you call the weaving tools that you push through the weave, and you can use these for skep making as well, for pulling the bindings through. There's three favourites made out of solid brass. Two items, what you call a fender 3, for splitting willow into threes. We've got a traditional hardwood made of English holly, and that one has a nice brass tip. That one should last, a lifetime if you look after it. The insole plane I showed you earlier is actually for putting the welt in a handmade shoe. As you can see here, the welt up to here is stitched on and stitched through onto the inside groove there, and what this tool does, it cuts out a channel so that this beading actually sits down into it. That's another thing that I do. I'm a boot and shoe maker in my spare time in winter time and on the long nights in winter. And there's what you call a shepherd's or gamekeeper's boot. Lots and lots of different things you need to do the specialist jobs, and tools is one of them, so you have to make them yourself if you can't buy them. Here's another, what you call a full welted shoe, with Belgian construction this time. As you can see, there's no welt there. The welt is actually the lip itself. It's stitched through and then folded back down. That's another technique which the tools are used for, and you cut this groove in here with a standard knife. There's lots and lots of different things that you need to carry out the tasks, and I make my own cobbler's wax, which is 50% Stockholm tar and 50% beeswax, and you melt it all into globulets like that and into little paper cake trays to save it. Leave the paper on the bottom one so it doesn't stick to anything. and then they make the threads themselves out of single barber linen, and then you use for the needle pig whiskers. This is one thing that I can offer if anybody's interested in learning how to make traditional wax twin threads with pig whiskers for needles. Another tradition that's almost long gone, and a nice little wooden cabinet there to keep them in, and if you drop them there's 1,000 whisker pickup. So that's a look at the little window into one of the many hundreds of different tools that I've made, and there's an upper for another type of gamekeeper's boot, half made. Really thick 3mm rawhide, one of the toughest leathers there is, what the cowboys use for making chaps with. Almost bulletproof. So there's other tools that I've made, too many to mention really. There's another side knife that I've made, nice rosewood handle again, and silver ferrules, and the scabbards as well. They're stitched on an old-fashioned Singer sewing machine. And one more, that's what you call a normal awl. In the videos to come I'll show you how to make these and temper these, because these tips can be anywhere £3 to £4 a piece, and they easily break with them being quite hard, so it pays to know how to make your own. So that's a quick tutorial on tool making. Like I say, I'll be doing more videos on tempering and making tools later on. So thank you all again for looking. Bye for now.